Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 111 of the Dear Herbalist podcast titled Staying Inspired as an Herbalist. If you are new to this channel, you are most certainly welcome. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for your continued support. So, in this episode, we are diving into staying motivated as an herbalist, especially when facing challenges. Whether you're just starting out or have years of experience, maintaining motivation can be tough when you're dealing with skepticism, regulatory hurdles, or the complexities of running a business. But by embracing strategies for growth, learning from others, and managing your own well-being, you can stay inspired and continue to thrive in your herbal business. So I'm going to give you some tips today on how to stay motivated. Trust me, sometimes you can be unmotivated. Skepticism is a huge thing in trying to talk to people and trying to convince people that herbs work, but they are not the end all be all. There's other aspects of health that have to be considered as well. And sometimes people just have a mental block. And it can be frustrating sometimes, especially when you want well for people. You want wellness for people. You want health for people. You know it's worked for you and family, friends, and all that. And you just want to see people well. And sometimes people don't want to be well. The other thing is the regulatory things in terms of your product creations and all these other things that could come about. It's like, I just want to create a product. I just want to create something that I know works and that'll benefit people. I don't need to be looked at with a microscope, but it happens. Such is life, right? Such is life. So how can you stay motivated? I'm going to give you a few tips tonight. Number one, and this is very important, embrace the power of your why. Staying motivated as an herbalist starts with remembering your why. The core reason you chose this path, whether it's a deep connection with nature, the desire to help others, or your passion for plant medicine, tapping into your purpose can reignite your passion when things get tough. So you want to reflect on your purpose. Take a moment to actually think about why you started this journey in the first place. Was it to help walk people through the healing process? Was it to learn more about plants? Was it to make a positive impact on your community? What was your why? I know my why is access. I believe that everyone has the right to have access to plants, to have access to the information that they need to help restore healing and balance in their own body. And it shouldn't be a class issue. It shouldn't be the haves versus the have-nots. And walking through the health journey with my mother, I really learned that, only certain people that had certain levels of money could have access to certain care. And that really frustrated me because at the end of the day, if you need it, it should be there for you. And so I'm really passionate about access to knowledge, access to herbs, the medicine, access. And so that gets me every single time. That keeps me going when sales may not be where they should be. That keeps me going where, my podcast numbers and getting information out there is not where they should be. It really keeps me going because I understand the passion of making sure that people have access and giving them the information so that they can be effective wherever they are in their communities. And it doesn't matter if they have $2 or if they have $1 million. And I think in this particular country in particular, it just boils my blood that there's levels of medicines that are available to people based on who can afford what. So if you're broke, okay, you might as well be taking rocks because that's probably the effectiveness of the pills you're taking. Versus if you're somebody that has $1 million, then you have access to the best of care. And that should not be. So that is my why. Right? So what I'm going to ask you to do, write down your why and look at it regularly. Reflect on your mission because this can help reignite your passion even when you feel stuck or overwhelmed. It's almost like it pulls you back to the center of why you're doing all this in the first place, even when you don't feel supported. Number 2, set small, achievable goals. Motivation can fade often when we focus too much on the bigger picture. So if you have a big goal in mind, sometimes it may seem so far back that you're just like, I'll never be able to reach that. And so you neglect the smaller steps that could actually get you there because you're so focused on the big goal. Let's say you want to, create your own clinic in your own community and it's huge. You want to have all this stuff in there that people can have access to, but you're right now here in your home like, I probably talked to 3 people and, maybe on YouTube, 5 people listen to me. You're kind of like, how in the world would I ever get to that big space? So then you kind of just shrink down and you throw it away. Rather than how can I make those small steps and those small goals, first of all, to give me confidence that I'm working towards that bigger goal, but also keep me moving towards that bigger goal. Because you don't want to let fear keep you stagnant. You want to constantly keep moving forward. So motivation will fade, okay, if you focus too much on that bigger picture and you neglect the smaller steps that lead to success. Make sure that you're setting small, achievable goals, and this is the best way to maintain momentum, okay, and give yourself a sense of accomplishment with each milestone you reach. So, for example, small goals could be learn a new herbal preparation technique each month, or read one herbal book or article each week to expand your knowledge, or create and launch a new product, service, or even a class or course for your clients. Another small goal could network with one new person each week who actually shares your passions for herbalism. And if you're in a rural town, because I do have some listeners that are like, I'm so far out, I'm the only one out here. Reach out to people online. Reach out to me, I'll talk to you. But you want to break down your larger goals into smaller, actionable steps and then track your progress and celebrate each small win. So if you were able to master a new herbal remedy or you were able to take some time for yourself to kind of recharge and all that, pat yourself on the back. Every step towards your goal is a great one. And recognize that these accomplishments, they will keep you engaged and motivated. All right, so set those achievable goals. Number 3, connect with a community of like-minded herbalists. Now, if you've been burnt by some of these blogs with these, some of these herbalists who, I don't know, they didn't take their herbal medicine, they're a little angry, know-it-alls, arrogant, yada, 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 yada. I get it. Push those people to the side because there's a lot of us out there that are not like that. We would love to have conversation with you. We would love to share stories with you and hear your stories. Don't allow the negative Nancy's and the meanies and all of that get you down, okay? Or try to put you down. Don't do that. Connect with a community of like-minded. Because if they act like that, just because they're herbalists, don't mean they share the same mind. There's some herbalists out there that I listen to and I'm just like, nah, we can't connect because we don't share the same heart. We don't share the same mind to help people, right? So they have to be like-minded individuals, and it's best to connect with them so that way you can stay motivated. One of the most powerful ways to stay motivated is to connect with other herbalists who share your passion. It could be online forums, it could be social media groups, it could be in-person meetups, but being part of a supportive community can offer inspiration for you, emotional support, and valuable insights for overcoming challenges. So you might be like, I don't know. Well, let me tell you the benefits. Number 1, shared knowledge. You can collaborate with others to gain access to different perspectives and resources that can actually expand your business. 2 is emotional support. Herbalism can be an isolating field, but a community provides accountability, encouragement, and a space to share experiences. You don't have to feel like you're alone out there on that island and you're just the only one out there. You can reach out to people online and it's like, hey, have you ever experienced a client like this? Have they ever got on your nerves? What do you do? Being able to communicate and collaborate with people is huge. And then number 3, another benefit of community is networking opportunities. So being able to connect with others in the herbal community, it opens the door to collaborations. Maybe you've always wanted to start a podcast and you're not really sure how and who, and you end up meeting with somebody else that also wants to start a podcast. And you're like, you know what? Let's start it together. Or, I always wanted to start my own product line and, I wanted to focus on this, and you run into somebody that wants to do the same. Boom. You can have new opportunities through that person. Right? Or they have access to information on herbal conferences and meetings and things like that you might not have been privy to. And now you have an opportunity for personal growth. So networking is key. Reaching out to fellow herbalists online or in person, attend workshops, webinars, herbal conferences, whatever you do, stay engaged with the community. And if there isn't a local group, consider starting one yourself. Create a space where others can share, learn, and grow together. Because I'm telling you, if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. Number 4. Okay, it's my 4th piece of advice. Stay curious and keep learning. As I've always said, herbal medicine is a journey. You can't know it all, you won't know it all. And it's an ever-evolving field. So staying curious and learning continuously is a great way to keep you motivated. You can explore new plants, new techniques, new practices that can reignite your excitement, as well as keep your herbal journey fresh. So set aside some time each week for personal education. This is where it's either reading a new herbal book, taking an online course, attending a local lecture, or even experimenting with new herbs in your business. Consistently learning helps keep your work dynamic, and it opens up new opportunities for you to be able to grow. And then dive in deeper into areas maybe that you haven't focused on yet, like biochemistry or Ayurveda or plant chemistry. These all help to broaden your knowledge base. So stay curious and keep learning. Another tip is to practice self-care and avoid burnout. Now, as herbalists, we often prioritize the needs of others, but it's very important that we take care of ourselves. And I know it's difficult sometimes because you just get so motivated and dive into the work. But without proper self-care, staying motivated becomes difficult and burnout is on its way. So you have to make time for your own health and well-being. It is very important for sustaining a long and fruitful career in herbal medicine. Any public service position, profession, or job that you may have can be draining, can be taxing. So self-care is important. So let me give you a few self-care tips. Number 1, take time each day to reconnect with nature, whether you can walk in the woods or tend to your garden if you have one, or even start a garden. Number 2, prioritize rest and relaxation. Make sure you are getting enough sleep and downtime to recharge. 3, practice mindfulness or meditation. Now, I always do prayer. Okay, meditate on the scriptures, and this helps reduce stress and helps keep you centered. It also is connected to your why are you doing this anyway. And then number 4, set boundaries around your time and your energy. Learn to say no when needed and make space for your well-being. That learning to say no piece is huge. Don't let people waste your time. Go through your list of clientele and identify those people that are wasting your time, because people will waste your time. They're not really there to be a part of the healing process. They don't really want to be healed. They're just trying to benefit from what they get and the attention that they get from being sick. So set appropriate boundaries. This is all about self-care. It's like, listen, I'm trying to help you, but you don't want to help yourself. And so I don't get burned out and disenchanted, from the experience. We're going to have to part ways, And for those of you type A personalities, schedule some time for self-care, just as you would a work appointment. So whether it's a walk, exercise, or reading some books, consistently nurturing your health helps prevent burnout and keeps you motivated. Finally, find inspiration in your herbal journey. Staying motivated often comes from looking back at how far you've come and finding inspirations there. Reflect on your achievements and the impact that you have made. This can give you energy to keep moving forward, because trust me, you've made a difference. If somebody was sick, you recommended an herb, you helped them to get well, reflect on that. Reflect on that. It doesn't mean take it in and say, I was the healer. No, the body is the healer, right? But you were a facilitator of the healing process. And because you did that, that person was able to see health and wellness. So pat yourself on the back for that. Reflect on your accomplishments. Think about the moments when you felt proudest in your practice, whether it was helping a client heal or discovering a new plant or even seeing a new project that you wanted come to life. Dream again. Dream again. Sometimes we have to go back like little kids and just sit back and just dream. We forget that because we get bogged down in the rat race and the day-to-day that we forgot that we had a dream once. So reflect on your accomplishments, reflect on the work, keep a journal of your herbal journey, document your successes, challenges, and even the moments that have inspired you, and revisit this journal whenever you need a motivational boost, because it reminds you of the fact that you have grown and how much you've grown and the true difference that you are making in the world. So, another key thing to think about that is not often spoke about, when people are talk about motivating yourself, there's a lot of motivational speakers, motivate. Everybody wants to be motivated. As an herbalist, you really have to be self-motivated. That is one thing that I can say is very key on this journey. If you are looking for someone else to motivate you, then you probably shouldn't be on this path in the first place, because you really have to, like David in the Bible, encourage yourself. Your motivation is your drive and your passion and your why. That's your motivation. At least it should be. But sometimes this is a lonely road. And if you're waiting on somebody to shock you, to jolt you into getting into gear, that's a no-no. Because you'll always need that person to help you get in gear. So you really have to sit down and take the time to do some self-reflection, because one thing people don't talk about the most is that by you staying motivated, it impacts others. And that is what we're here for. It's not just about you. Staying motivated as an herbalist can have a rippling effect on your community and your clients. So if you give up, what about the people in your community that needed what you had? But because you gave up, because you lacked motivation, now they don't have access to that. Right? The energy and the inspiration that you put into your work can inspire others to seek healing, to learn more about plants, and to make natural wellness a part of their lives. You're a key part of that. Your motivation to continue learning and improving, it's going to be reflected in the care that you provide your clients. As you gain new knowledge, you'll be able to find more effective remedies as well as support. And of course, this will increase client trust and satisfaction. The other thing is, by staying motivated and active in herbal community, you inspire others to join the movement, because make no mistake about it, it is a movement. It is time that we go back to the bush. It is time that we take charge of our health. Everybody wants to say, my body this, my body that. No, it's my health. You have the right to health and be in good health, but you have to work for that. And things have to be in place for that to be a reality. So whether you're hosting workshops, sharing knowledge online, or collaborating with others, your efforts will help spread the healing powers of plant. I don't care if you're writing a blog. I don't care if you're doing a podcast. I don't care if you do a YouTube video once a week, once a month, once a year. You are providing valuable information out there to people that need it. And don't think that people aren't watching. They are definitely watching. Even if for a second you put something on their mind. So staying motivated also impacts other people on a big scale. So you don't want to give up. Right? There's a lot of work out there. So we want to stay motivated. And in closing, staying motivated as an herbalist requires balance of passion, planning, and self-care. Embrace your why. Set small and achievable goals. Connect with your community. Stay curious and always prioritize your well-being. This is so important. Remember, each step you take in your herbal journey, it matters. By staying motivated, you can positively impact not only yourself, but also your clients and the wider community. So get out there. Stay motivated, take care of yourself, and thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all of my social media sites at The Demystified Herbalist. Remember, stay inspired, stay motivated, keep pushing forward. I promise you got this. And until next time, family, I'm out.